Hello, I'm Mowie Kei. This is Chambermusik YouTube. We are going to be interviewing a wonderful guest today by the name of Tim Black. He will be joining me any minute in the Hangout. And Tim is a progressive news host. He does the news for people who can't stand the news. I'm personally a big fan of Tim's show, and I'm very excited to be able to interview him today. So I'm just waiting for Tim to join. And
Hey, how you doing?
hi,
What's up? What's up?
what's up? What's up? Here we are.
All right. I think you were live, man. I think you were.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the link. We used a different link and they couldn't see where we were. But let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Second
All
time's a charm.
right.
Yeah, they were having trouble hearing you the first time. But I
Really?
can hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, let's get started.
Okay.
All right. So this is Tim Black, host of what's your show called again? Tim Black.
Show.
Just the Tim Black Show.
Right. For the most part. I got two shows. One's coffee with
You got a lot of under taglines, right?
Yeah. I got well, first of all, hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm Tim Black. I have two shows, Coffee with Tim Black, that I do during the day, and I have News with Tim Black, Progressive News with Tim Black at night. So
yeah.
That's the two shows, and it's all on TimBlackTV.com. So what's up, Mowie?
What's up? Nothing much.
Trying to do it, man. Trying to work with you guys. What's up, man? Are we good now? Can y'all hear us?
We're just in 2016 trying to figure out technology.
No doubt.
Well, we're a hip hop label, and I hear you're a fan of hip hop.
Yeah, man. Look, I grew up on hip hop, so that's no doubt. I'm a big hip hop head. I mean, back in the day, that's all I listened to. I mean, Public Enemy, Wu-Tang Clan, Cypress Hill. That was my, that's how I rode. And then, but as times changed, I changed with hip hop. Went into the Nas era, Jay-Z. I'm a 50 Cent fan. Not just for the music, but for the business moves too. So it's all of that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're well known as a progressive news host on YouTube, and I would like to know a little bit about how you got started with that.
Well, I was just covering. I did public speaking, right? So I'm a speaker by trade. Like I've done that and enjoy doing it. Being in front of a live audience was my thing. And you see people doing shows. You say, well, maybe I should give that a try. So I just started talking about whatever. I do movie reviews. I just talked about, did inspirational stuff on YouTube. And then as time changed, I wanted to talk about what was going on in the world. So that's sort of how I got started talking about the news, because it happens all the time. It's always a new story. It's always something fresh to talk about. And you like to educate people. So that's how I got started.
Cool. And how did you get into the progressive movement? How did you find out about like Bernie Sanders and all that stuff?
My viewers told me about Bernie Sanders. They if you listen to your people, you got to always stay, having a conversation, not a one-way lecture. So if you listen to people, they're like, Tim, man, you got to check this guy out. And at the time, when the election started, I wasn't checking for Bernie Sanders, to be totally honest with you. I never heard of him. I wasn't involved in politics to that point. But once I found out that Bernie Sanders marched with Martin Luther King Jr. and that he got arrested doing sit-ins to try to break up segregation, come on, man. Like, you hear about a lot of other people, but you got to kind of take their word for it. We had the footage that this guy did these things. So if you were a person looking for a candidate who stood for something that you could believe in, well, hey, come on, man. This was Bernie. It was Bernie Sanders all the way. So that's what got me started.
So were you involved in politics before you discovered all that?
Not really. I mean, not more than, I would vote. I voted for Obama. Go ahead and get mad at me, but I did. I voted for Obama. I thought that was a good look. I thought that, even though I knew he was a politician, I wasn't like some people, like my wife, she was like, oh, this is great. He's so inspirational. I was like, but baby, he a politician. She's like, but he's talking about change. I was like, yeah, I hear him. That sounds good, but he is a politician. So I always had that in the back of my mind, and I'm still glad he became the first Black president. But other than that, and dealing locally, like I would vote for local races. I wasn't too concerned with big government, presidential politics. No.
Yeah. And now, would you consider yourself an activist?
You know what? This weekend I was at a rally and I spoke there, and I told him, I said, I don't really consider myself an activist, but I guess I am, because that's what people call it. When you speak out about issues and you go places and you talk to people,
and you get action?
that's kind of like what it is. I mean, we took action. I went to Philly with the DNC. I was there. This last weekend I was up in DC talking with hundreds of people and talking about taking our democracy back. I guess you would call that an activist, but there are other people doing some really extraordinary things, really putting themselves in harm's way. And that's when you give respect to people who are going to jail right now for what they believe in. So that's what I mean. I'm a little bit different. I do a show every night. So obviously I'm not going to jail for this stuff right now.
Yeah, it's pretty brave what some of the people are doing right now, especially like the stuff that's going on in South Dakota and everything.
Right, Dakota Access Pipeline, exactly. That's activism.
Yeah, that's really brave. I mean, real bravery,
Yeah.
When you go out and you're going to get arrested, and you're going to go, and there's been a lot of protests like that too, where it's like there was the one in DC, it was a Democracy Spring.
Right.
They knew they were going to get arrested.
Right.
Were you at that?
No, I wasn't at Democracy Spring. I was at the Democracy March, a Unity for Democracy March, which was more recent. But yeah, I hear you. But I think if you ask people like in Ferguson or in I don't know, all the other places that we've had marches and we've had rallies and we've had protests and then we've even had riots, right? I don't think those people would consider themselves activists. They just like, I'm mad. We got to do something, and I'm just going outside. So am I an activist because I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna put my hands up and I'm gonna show a sign or I'm gonna voice my opinion? I don't know, but we can't take it lying down, guys. We have to stand up for it. We have to stand up for ourselves.
A lot of fans of our music, with the like underground hip hop and everything, feel very disenfranchised by the system. I think just don't vote, don't get into some politics.
Really?
Don't get in, don't really, we have a very wide demographic. We have everything from like very, young millennials to older gentlemen such as yourself.
Nice way to put it. But yeah, I feel you. But they don't trust politics, huh? They're not involved.
Yeah, they don't trust it. They don't feel like they can make a difference, I think, and so I would say, or they don't vote. Just feel like they have no power of the system. Do you have any advice for people like that who just feel so powerless?
You know what? My first thing I want to tell them is that I understand. I get it. I have friends in the real world who are like Tim, who don't vote. They're like, Tim, I don't vote. I don't do this stuff. You crazy, Tim Black. What's wrong with you? Why are you putting your trust in the system? First of all, I'm not putting my trust in the system. That's the first thing. We're not trusting the system. We know the system has problems, right? But see, when you don't vote, you're not going to be able to hold them accountable for anything. See, when you vote, you are. It's not just your vote's going to change the world, but it's one thing that you do in a series of things. It's like, I don't know, I loved Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had a great punch, right? But he had great footwork too. And he had heart of steel. Like he was never afraid of anyone. So it wasn't just, so look at voting as the punch, but you got to have footwork. So that'll be working locally in your community.
Right.
And then maybe having that courage of steel would be investing in local businesses and building up your political capital. Because let's face it, when you invest money in a politician, a local politician, they tend to do what you want them to do. Mm-hmm. So it's economics, it's voting, but it's also community activism. It's all these things. So if you just think you're going to just cast a vote and go back home and watch Walking Dead and think that's going to change the world, well, that's on you. That's wrong to begin with, because you got to do more than that.
Right.
Okay, so that's the first thing.
And I think people underestimate the power of getting involved on the local level, right?
Yeah. That's because it's not sexy. No one really talks about it, you know?
Right.
You know, the same thing I like going to volunteer at your local shelter and helping some people that are, you know, in hard times. You're not going to see a show about that or you know, who's writing a rap song about that? But, you know, it's important though.
Yeah.
So just because you don't hear about it a lot and just because it's not in the news, you know, doesn't mean it doesn't make change. Look, if you could change one young person's life, if you're doing that on a daily basis or a weekly basis, well, heck, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
What's voting? You know, go down and vote. But I'd rather hear that you're doing something to help some kids in your community or some old folks in your community or small businesses in your community. I'd rather hear about that. But voting is easy. You just fill out something and you go down there one day. The hard stuff is stuff that we do on a daily or weekly or monthly basis.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I have a question from one of our artists, actually. His name's Just P.
Just P.
Yeah.
What's up, Just P?
Woo! And he wants to know if you think, do you feel that Hillary Clinton should be tried for treason against the American people?
Treason. That's a tough one. You know what? I don't know if it's treason, right?
Right.
But she shouldn't be able to get a government clearance anyway. All right. I worked as a government contractor for a while, and I know people who lost their jobs for doing less than what she did.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, you get in trouble just for leaving an email printed out on your desk, right? You could get fired for that. And she sent emails from a place. She did so many things wrong. I don't even want to go into everything she did wrong. Yeah. So should she be president? No. You know, I don't know if we could ever say H to the no, right?
Yeah.
Just P. But I don't know about treason. That's, you know, that you get killed for that. You know that, right? You could you could get executed for treason. I don't know if she did that, but she definitely is dirty. So yeah.
She's definitely non-trustworthy.
There you go.
A majority of our fan base is African American, and we're all aware of Black Lives Matter movement as well. Well, we were kind of talking about this before, as well as the various protests across country regarding police brutality. That being said, are there any other ways that more African Americans could get involved as activists?
Wow. I think the new thing that's going on with prisons, the new movement to get rid of these prisons, these private prisons, that's something that is even, like Black Lives Matter is one organization, but it's got many different chapters that are independent of it. So it's not like one organization. There are many other organizations that you can join. Mm-hmm. And organizations, I think the prison, eliminating mass incarceration is the biggest issue. In 2014, almost, I think it's 2.3 million people were locked up on drug charges. And of that 2.3 million people, maybe like 1.8, which is 83% or so, were there for just possession. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, when the average American doesn't realize that most people in jail are in jail for nonviolent offenses and just having drugs. Now, you know, when you mention drugs, people think, well, they must be big time dealers, slinging that crack or slinging that heroin, or meth. But in reality, it's just people who are hooked on drugs who like drugs, which isn't the worst thing in the world. There's worse things like little kids. You know what I mean? There's worse things in life to do, like shoot people, than do drugs. So, like, I think we should legalize drugs. So that's another issue. But here's the thing. Most people don't know that. So just getting the word out there. Most people are in jail for nonviolent offenses, not becoming kingpins, but just using drugs is awareness. So I think mass incarceration should be your issue. And it hits home. And I think if you're a millennial, you probably fall right into that age bracket. Well, that's something that gets you fired up, just knowing that so many people are in jail just for that.
Yeah, that is a really good cause. And it's also like a lot of people are in jail for being drug addicts.
Yeah.
And that's an illness.
Or for having cats on the back of their...
For having cats on the back of their
chair. I mean, and you know what? When it comes to marijuana, I mean, that's just as dangerous. It's a cat on the back of your chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Marijuana is as dangerous as a kitty cat on the back of your
I
chair.
think the cat might be a little more dangerous.
There you go. Especially if you're allergic.
Yeah. My cat like has gotten in many videos, and he's even tried to get in music videos.
That's what's up.
He wants to be
Cat
on the
went to
screen.
limelight. Cat like,
Yeah.
yo, what's up? Sign me up. I need to get these checks for this catnip. You know,
No.
I want the good toys. I want the toys that bling, baby.
I gotta get him like a little chain.
Hey, cats got look. Cats need, cats need money too. Cats need love too.
Cats need love too.
Cats need love too.
Speaking of that, Chambermusik has recently publicly endorsed Jill Stein for president and Juma Baraka for vice president. And we know you agree with us, but can you explain your personal reasons for supporting these candidates?
Wow. Well, first of all, full disclosure, I met both of these people, so that may have something to do with it. But I'll tell you, once Bernie dropped out of the race, I was looking for a new home, right? And I'd heard of Jill Stein, but I hadn't looked into it fully. So on policies, if people like Bernie Sanders for policies like legalizing marijuana, decriminalizing marijuana, ending the wars, Jill Stein wants to do that and then some. Okay, so Jill Stein was like a natural progression for me. And then when I met the lady and had her on my show twice, and then Ajamu on my show twice, and they talk about these issues, they are real. They are legit. Okay, so that's the thing. They're sincere, and there's, I'm sure most people who watch the show might feel you can't trust politicians. These people are very sincere. They're just regular people who have regular lives. They haven't been in politics. Ajamu's never been in politics before. He's a humanitarian. He goes around the world trying to help people get their rights. He fights for rights for people. That's what he does. He hasn't been sitting up in Congress with, passing laws or working within the system. And same thing for Jill Stein. She's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you like to have a doctor and a human rights advocate running the country instead of, Trump? Trump running the business, like you try to run a company, run a business, and Hillary Clinton running her mouth and taking
rather
money.
Have a doctor that's trying to heal us.
There you go.
Yeah.
We need some healing.
Yeah.
So that's why I think people, and we also need more choices. So Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka give us an opportunity to not just have Hillary and Trump as the option.
Right.
Right. And we need to support them so they can get the 5%. If they get the 5% of support, they will then get federal matching funds. So next time they run, it'll really be a race.
Right. Yeah, we got to think big picture, and that's why you vote third party. You don't vote third party because you think it's going to be a miracle or it's a protest. You do it because you want to change things down the road, right? You want to continue to gain momentum. Right.
If you want your children to have more options when they start voting, you need to start now.
Right.
Right. Because it takes time. So you only vote every 4 years.
Right.
So we get started now. In 4 years and 8 years, we got a serious deal. We have now new options. Other countries have more options because people made sacrifices to make that happen. We have to do the same thing.
What do you say to people who have told many people have told me, Hillary supporters have told me that by voting for Jill Stein that I'm exercising my white privilege?
Why do people keep saying that's so crazy? People can choose whatever they want to choose.
It's always white people that say it to me too.
Yeah, choose a candidate. First of all, the most important thing is to vote for somebody. That's your right. Right? Use your right. Spend your right and use it. Second thing is vote for who you want to vote for. Who you believe who you would rather see as the president based on who we have available. Right. Okay. Do that. Don't worry about people trying to shame people into voting for somebody else. First of all, Hillary has been that great for black people. Her and her husband locked up more black people than any other president in the country history ever. No one talks about it. That's because mainstream media is some garbage, and you'll hear more about that on my shows. But I can't stand mainstream media lies a lot, and they don't tell you stuff you need to know. Some of you may have never heard that, but that's a fact. It's the truth. Back in the 90s, when people were calling Bill Clinton the first black president, they didn't know he was locking up mostly black people and Latino people. More than Reagan, more than Bush.
And
Okay.
for the reasons that we were talking about earlier, right?
There you go.
Non-violent.
Drugs. There you
Right.
go. Not once again, just having drugs, not becoming, I don't know, Pablo Escobar. Just having them.
Yeah. So it's like I always remember in elementary school or middle school, and you do like the fake voting things, and they'd say your vote is your private personal thing and it's yours, and you don't have to tell anybody how you voted, and you have every right to that. And I wonder why that's like. I feel like that's changed, right? Like we have vote bullying now. Like that's a thing.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. It's social media. Like before, no one would. You know what? Because in person, a person wouldn't want to ask you. Mowie, who you voting for? Because you'd be like, get out of my face, man.
Yeah.
Who are you to ask me my personal business? I don't know you like that.
I never have political arguments in person. They're only on Facebook.
Right, because people know it's none of their business. Now, on the internet, you can say stuff and you ain't got to look. Nobody can slap you on the internet.
Right.
No one can curse you out in your face on the internet. So people are bold. You know how many N-words I get called on the internet? I'm 6'1", 240. I don't get called many N-words in person, but on the internet, it's a 15-year-old scrawny kid from Kentucky just kicking them out, just spitting them out, just typing.
Internet thugs.
Internet thugs, the web bullies, the trolls.
Right? They can say it all. I know there's the same person that like won't look you in the eye when they see you in person.
Right.
Got
Tough guy.
To say, right.
Tough guy on the internet. Tough guy. Bully even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So that's what it is. And look, as far as white privilege, as far as regards to this, no. Look, Hillary, they want to paint Trump as the devil and Hillary as an angel. That seems to be the narrative, and that's totally not true. If anything, we have two, bad angels. Like we have two demons, and both in their own ways, and Trump in his own ways because he say a bunch of crap. But in my opinion, Hillary's a more dangerous candidate because Trump has only said bad things. Hillary's actually done them.
Right, and she's competent.
And she's competent. Well, competent and not doing stuff not getting stuff done that she should.
Yeah, but she's very, she knows what she's doing. She's not an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? She's not a dummy.
But so Trump's not an idiot either. Yeah. But I know what you mean as far as her way to maneuver around DC.
I would say Trump may not. Yeah, Trump's obviously not an idiot because he's a billionaire, but he likes to play like he's the idiot. That's his strategy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, who besides yourself would you advise our audience if they wanted to find more progressive news and tune in and find stuff better than mainstream media?
Wow. I have on Mondays I do a show with a friend named H.A. Goodman. Now, H.A. Goodman talks about a lot of different. Right now the WikiLeaks are going on, very serious issue. I don't know if your callers are familiar with WikiLeaks, but they've been publishing a lot of documents that tell you the truth about what's been going on in the Clinton campaign and with her advisors. So H.A. Goodman at hagoodman.com and same thing on YouTube. I'd say follow H.A. Goodman. He's my no sellout partner. That's what we do. No sellouts on Monday morning. Well, Monday evening, I should say.
Cool. H.A. Goodman. I'm a fan of him as well. So.
Okay.
Cool. I personally also, in addition to your show, I like Democracy Now!
Oh, of course. Amy Goodman is the bomb. That's my lady. And she took one for the team in North Dakota. Yeah. And I did a video. Yeah, I'm sure. And I did a video about her, and they owe her an apology and give us some money too, since y'all want to be locking people up for doing their job. So do that.
I really enjoyed when she reported on herself getting arrested. She's just so professional. She's just straightforward, and there's a warrant out for me. Awesome. Right. Yeah, man, you're doing a great job with everything you're doing, and I really appreciate you coming in for this interview. I have my final question. This is my signature question I ask everyone I interview. What is your zodiac sign?
Leo.
Oh,
that's Leo. Good. Leo. Oh, you too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up, sis?
Leo. August 14th.
Wow, August 13th.
Oh, shit.
August 13th, August 14th. That's amazing. I love this.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Leo power.
That's it, Leo power. No doubt.
Oh man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Do you have any final words?
Nothing. Just look, guys, go to timblacktv.com. Follow up if you like politics, if you like news, if you like someone reporting the facts straight to you. No BS, no beating around the bush. That's what we do. We keep it real. And I hope to see you. I'm also everywhere. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere you are, except for Vine. I had to let Vine go, I couldn't be good in 7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a little bit more time to be like good. And so yeah, I let Vine go, but I need to get on Musically. I haven't done that yet, but I'm everywhere else.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Everybody have a great day and happy election season.
That's it. See you next time. And vote.
And vote.
That's right. Don't boo, vote.
Yes, that.
Peace.
Peace.